Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Business Growth Made Easy podcast. I have an amazing guest today, my dear friend, longtime mentor, and the most amazing hair colorist I know, at least in the world. Beautiful Beth Minardi. Welcome.
Hi, Maria. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here, and I know everybody's going through what we're going through, so let's get started and see how we can connect and make one another understand that we're going to get through this and it's going to be okay.
Absolutely. And I have to be honest with you, Beth, I'm so happy to connect with you because I feel like everyone needs to hear this. Our industry has been impacted like so many other industries. You know, I don't want to be like it's just ours, but we've really been blindsided. What's your thoughts? I just want, share with the audience. We speak specifically to the salon professionals globally. I know you're an icon in the color industry. You've been a salon owner, an educator. You just have so much to offer everyone. I think everyone needs a little support right now and wisdom. So some wisdom, what do you think we all should be doing?
Well, it's funny. This COVID thing has been awful, but it was really the frosting on the cake because for about 8 to 10 years, maybe more, there has been a slow change in our industry.
You're right.
And people didn't want to look at it and say it wouldn't matter. And, and then so many people have embraced the new salon world. And I'll take you back. I started in the early 1980s working first with a major manufacturer and visiting salons all over the country, and then working in the lab and then consulting for other companies before even opening my own salon. And, you would hear from people, you would hear from salon owners. Some of them were wonderful. Mm-hmm. Some of them were less than wonderful. You would hear from people who worked in beauty salons. And there seemed to be this owner versus staff thing.
Mentality, yes.
Which when I was married to my husband, we tried very hard. We didn't have a commission-based salon. We had a salary-based salon that worked very well.
And that was groundbreaking at the time.
And after you were with us a year, you had 1 week paid vacation, 2 years, 2 weeks, 10 years, 3 weeks. We had 401ks, we had health insurance. We had, if you were sick, you were not docked. Your assistant or someone else would see the person. Mm-hmm. And we really tried to run a very ecumenical, intelligent business, and that worked. Commission salons can be pretty cutthroat. They also can work very well depending on the owner. Mm-hmm. And also depending on looking at a person's current level of talent and then saying, okay, instead of deriding them, well, they're not good at this and that, how can we help them? How can we use our manufacturers to help us grow? Or how can we in the salon help this person grow? And a lot of it had to do not just with she is a level this, we want a level that, her hair is this level. No. A lot of it was this, and it still is today, and it really bothers me, this thing that people just want to get started, and they're working on volume. So Jerry Maguire in that movie said it years ago, taking better care of fewer people. I would see much success in a person seeing 4 or 5 people a day who adore them, refer their friends, come back and look great, than seeing 9 people a day, in and out, they don't rinse them very well, just blow it out. It's almost, and it's very stressful on people. It's very like you're working on a treadmill. Mm-hmm. And I see that there were a lot of people who said, well, my manager said I only have 10 minutes to do this, or I only have so consulting with that new client, and I hate the word consultation, it's almost like a pre-service interview. Mm-hmm. With a new person, that might be 10 to 12 really don't touch the minutes except to say, why don't you sit down, come in in different times, may I get you an iced tea or a water? Mm-hmm. And sitting, not standing and not saying, yeah, what do you want? But sitting next to them, turning the chair and saying, tell me a little about you. Are you working? Are you busy during the day? What are your best times? How often do you even like to come to a beauty salon?
What's your lifestyle, your
finances? And sometimes they don't even understand the word lifestyle. It's, are you a busy mom, or are you,
Mhm.
you know, at home a lot? How much time do you have to spend on your hair every day, every week, every month? What are you most interested in? And then I always love to say, you know what? I have a lot of ideas about you. But before I tell you what I'm thinking, why don't you tell me what you're thinking?
I love
And
that.
and a lot of them, before they even talk about their hair, will talk about problems they're having with a child or their husband or their dog or
Mhm.
their family issues or their work issues or health. And they just have to let it go, let it go, let it go, and then bring it back to, so how can I help you today? And, you know, today you're here and your hair is in need of correction. And I can tell you that it's going to take 2 or 3 additional visits before it'll be correct, but we can begin our color journey today. And that journey, I'm going to be really honest with you, you know, is going to take this amount of time. I'm going to be able to do this, this, and this.
Mhm.
I'm going to recommend that you do this at home. And you can't call me tomorrow telling me we're going to talk in 3, 4, or 5 weeks. And you've got to trust me. So if you don't want to do this with me, I will feel bad. I will understand, but I really want to help you. I really want to help you. And that's something, you know, when I get new assistants, they'll say, my beauty school never mentioned that.
Well,
They
of
told us,
course.
get him in the chair. And one of my really most talented young women I've ever worked with, at her beauty school, they would say, you did a beautiful job, but you've got to work on your time. You've got to work on your time. But she had repeat clients at beauty school coming back to her all the time. So, and then what I think would happen was, because there were some, not all,
Mhm.
some salon owners who were not as great managers, mentors, or supporters of their staff. The people didn't want to work for them, so they would leave. And what's the big thing? Be your own boss.
Mhm.
Get out of beauty school. You don't need to work for a salon. Why don't you be your own boss? Well, a lot of them, these young people, get out of beauty school, and I'm shocked to know there are schools near me in New York where when you graduate from this $16 to $18 to $1,000 beauty school, you have never touched a human being. There's no more,
Okay.
in many places, there's no more what you and I used to call it being on the floor.
Yeah. Now in New
Well,
Jersey too. In New Jersey,
well,
I can tell you because I do. Yep, I know that for a fact.
so they get out of school, they've never really touched a human being. They've never needed to get someone a tea or a coffee or consult with them. They're working on mannequins. And, you know, for hair color, picking up hair on a Madison is not like picking up hair on a human being. So
Absolutely.
here they are, and they're told, be your own boss. Well, be your own boss. Do you really want to schedule the appointments? Do you really want to take out the trash? Do you really want to take the money? Do you really want to be on the telephone with people who change their appointments 17 times, or on the 16th time say they're not coming in, or worse, don't show up? Do you really want to do your own banking? Do you really want to be your own accountant? Do you really want to be your own assistant?
Right.
Saying that, that is a hard road to travel for anyone, particularly for someone who's new to our business.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'm seeing is, I teach all the time, as you know, Maria, thank you.
That's,
In fact, I have a Facebook page, which at this point is free.
and
And
we will drop that link below, everyone. The links to connect with Beth and follow her is all going to be below in the description. So just tell us what the name of the group is again, Beth.
the name of the group, it's a big name, but it's a Facebook group and it's free.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Conversations with Top Color Professionals by Beth Minardi. We have 3,300 hairdressers from mostly the US, all over. Mexico, Canada, Dubai, London, Australia, India, Russia, all of them. They don't do 3 colors a month. They do 3 colors a day, or they do 10 colors a day.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all levels, and it doesn't matter what brand you use. Even though I've had my own brand and I consult for a brand, it's really, the lady came in, her roots look like this, she's upset, she wants to be that. What do I do? And we help and guide, and the friendship's amazing because other people tune in and say, I've had that happen to me too.
Yeah.
Here's what to do. So we're I'm very pleased about that. And in fact, I've been doing some YouTube. I'm on Instagram, and I still work in a salon 3 days a week here
I
in New
love
York
that.
City,
I
right
love
at the steps of the Metropolitan Museum, in a very elegant salon space, Kieran McKenna Salon. So I see clients, but a lot of my time is spent doing right what I'm doing now, Maria, really trying to help people. And I know owners and everybody's thinking, my God, when is it going to get back? Number one, it's not going to ever get back to the way it was, but it will be the way it's going to be.
Right.
So
what are your thoughts on that? I'd love to hear, what are your thoughts on, I agree with you, it's never going to be the way it was. What do you think the best way to move forward now is for everyone? And what do they have to really get in their mindset to move forward?
I think everybody needs to go on Google Business. It's free.
Yep.
You will have a listing with your location, your phone number, etc. And you should post 1 or 2 pictures, and I hate to say this, of attractive finished hair. Mm-hmm. If you do mostly trend and most of your work is really brilliant with carnival colors and all the, fine, post that. If most of your work is more rich bitch color, post that. If you have a variety, post that. But you've got to decide who. You can't be everything to everybody.
So here's my topic. I help with, when I consult with a lot of the hair professionals, I always tell them to pick a specialty. I think the future is in the specialization. This is just my point of view. Yes. And make sure you are the best and the expert. You're like the heart surgeon of one particular type of heart surgery, not just the basic cardiologist, not just the basic, regular doctor, the GP that you go to. Specialize, 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 because I think that's where the industry is going, and be the best at it. And that's one of my $1 million secrets is that Google business listing. Guys, yeah. Anyone listening to Beth and myself right now, that is a $1 million secret.
When people, and I do it, but I don't like going on Instagram. I think it makes other hairdressers look at your work. Who cares? Unless that's what you want to do.
Right.
Most women and gentlemen who care about their hair are not looking for a hairdresser on Instagram. They are looking one, and I do Google ads, which a person can or cannot do. And
right.
You can target. I only want within 5 miles radius of where my salon is. I want to be on the entire West Coast or East Coast. I want to be in this city. Your
demographics. You can laser focus. So what you're saying is they really need to pick a specialty and laser focus to where their audience is and be the best at that, not wishy-washy and just quality over quantity.
And nobody, when you do Instagram, if you're going to say, okay, this is to make other professionals see my work, really. And you can say to a client, if you've seen my Instagram, you see my work. Most clients that I see do not go on Yelp, and they do not go on Instagram. They do go to Google, and they do go to Google ads, and they just want, I've had clients who I haven't seen for a couple of years, and they'll say, oh my God, I'm so glad I found you on social media. But that's everyone's own choice.
That's everyone's own choice.
But just, nobody cares about the club forgive me. If you're my friend on Facebook, I have a personal Facebook page that's not a business page. Mm-hmm. And I only let my cousins, my dear friends in. Mm-hmm. There are some hairdressers who are on, and I ask them to please go to my professional page. I don't, what you did at a club or what you did with your significant other or what you had for dinner does not really, unless you are showing yourself at Fashion Week in Paris and you're looking at you have to know, who is my audience? Is my audience people who want to see me? I might be the best barber for guys in the world. I might be the best super blonder there is. I might be the best corrective colorist there is. I might be the best for long hair. I might be the best. What I'm seeing mostly on YouTube now is everybody just bleaching hair and melting it, or bleaching it and doing balayage. And it's over and over and over and over again.
I call it the mermaid hair look. I'm like, well, but business evolves. You need to know to do more things, and just everyone's got the same look. And I'm like, that's limiting, but that's just my opinion.
It's very limiting because as people go on, even somebody who's tried a mermaid look, to do a mermaid look, and I've done it for television, and I love doing it, but here's the thing. To do it right is time consuming. Mm-hmm. To do it right is not low upkeep. That person has to come back, and it's expensive unless you're just doing it for fun, and then you get exhausted and you become angry when the woman says, I don't want to pay. First, decide who you are. What do you enjoy? While you might want to be working on other skills, say, what are my, if I were a person and I was walking into Maria or Susan or John or Sally or Fred, what skill do I know they do best?
Right.
And then walk the walk, talk the talk, look the look. It doesn't matter if you're tired. You are almost a psychologist for them. They're here to talk about themselves.
Absolutely.
They're here to unwind. They're here to feel some level of comfort and optimism. They might want to know a book you've read, a movie you've seen, even if it's on Netflix or Amazon or whatever, a podcast you've listened to, a class you've taken, an interesting conversation you had with another client, anything that's not just talking about COVID, lack of money, and round and round, and the election and stuff.
The healing, I call it a healing session. Yes. I'm still behind the chair too a few days a week because I have my salon in New Jersey. That is as healing to me as it is to them, because you're just connecting with them soul to soul and giving them what they need too. But I think that's what's going to be the longevity of our future in the salons. The
longevity is going to be, here's what it is, in my view.
And I love your view.
we are in the experience business.
You got
it. It's not just, look, you don't want to say, well, woman, I really like what she does with my hair. I really like my hair, but I hate being there. It's noisy. It's uncomfortable. There's nothing to do there. It takes too long. They don't recognize. They left me alone. They forgot to take me to the sink. They don't give a good shampoo. I hated my blow dry, but I go there because the color's right, or I go there because the cut's right. The experience has to be that they include you. The ultimate is that they would consider inviting you, not that they would, consider inviting you to a party they are giving. The ultimate compliment is that they would want to be a guest at a party you are giving.
I totally
They can't believe that you are the person who, and I have nothing against the person who washes the street, the person who picks up the trash, the person who takes graffiti off the sidewalk. Those are hardworking, amazing people. But do they consider you at least their peer, not just, in quotes, what I've heard in the past, a pair of hands or a head scrubber? Or is being cool and hanging out with your gang? And, I go on this one site that I won't go on anymore. It's like a hairdresser's gossip site. And I guess people need to vent. But if we hate our clients, they can feel it.
Yeah.
And if you read some of these and you read through, I can say, I know exactly where this client became flipped out. Mm-hmm. I know exactly what happened to this client. I know exactly why that client became a bitch. I know. Once the client believes she knows more than you do, or that you don't care, or that you're not certain, or that you're not, it's okay to say, you know what, Susan, I ran into a little thing. This person's going to take me about 15 more minutes. I am so sorry, and I'm going to make it up to you. Is that okay? Because I know you need to get started, but I have to finish her. Instead of just letting them sit there, and then telling them, oh, that other woman she was late. I can't stand her. No
way.
But it happens all the time. And, I used to, and I was guilty of it for a long time. Desk people do screw up. But you have to just say, you're here now, and I know you're here, and I'm delighted to see you. So if you can just give me a few minutes, I promise to make you happy.
Do you feel like, I always say this, I always say to myself, I want the clients should feel the way we feel when we go to the dentist, the doctor. I mean, it's the same experience. Like, to me, the level of integrity you have to hold as that professional should be the same. You know, that's why when someone said to me, oh, you know, they were cutting someone's hair in their backyard, I'm like, well, would you get a root canal in the backyard? Then
Right.
you are causing yourself, you're lowering your own integrity and professionalism. So the key is here, what I believe, that you are an icon because why? You hold such a high level of professionalism. You're consistent. You connect with people. You offer the best quality services. Why? Because you consistently show up as that expert. And I think that is what's so many people are forgetting. You can't learn. You know, everyone's doing their hair at home. That's crazy. You can't learn from a non-professional how to be doing hair just because you saw a YouTube video.
Right, and there are a couple good YouTube videos, and there are some, I mean, that a woman's using powder lightener on her scalp and burning the hell out of herself. And she said, you know, I've been doing this for years at home, experimenting, and there's no reason for you need to go to a salon. Well, remember, there's one major manufacturer, and their slogan is, and you're all buying from that huge manufacturer, we want to help you spend less time in a beauty salon. And you're all buying from that manufacturer. So who cares? Who cares? What you have to do is stop complaining and be better at what you do. There are people who've told me they're taking my expert class hands-on, and I don't do them anymore, Maria, because they're not experts. The color's down their arms, it's on the floor, 25 minutes later, they're still trying to apply. Now, whether that's their situation, if they'll be honest with me, I can't teach classes for beginners because they say they can't afford them. What I'm seeing now is my classes are very special and people get they're very deep and people really share. And by the afternoon, it's hands up and we're really into it. But people think they can learn for free on Instagram.
No.
And, but they, you know, if you're now there are influencers who do very nice work and who are smart. But if you're an influencer that has 80,000 followers, that doesn't really mean you're a great colorist or hairdresser. It means that you spend your day with somebody who's really great, capturing your work, your personality. Mm-hmm. But I always say, when you're taking a class, find out, does that teacher really work in a beauty salon, really create hair color, and what if you're using a brand or any brands, mm-hmm. what brands are they also using? Just to make it doesn't mean you have to use Goldwell if they're using Goldwell or Ruska, right. But if they should at least be using something that they will feel comfortable using at your salon, or that they can bring and you can take a look at, but with no pressure.
Right.
You know, there's a difference between product knowledge and education.
Oh, absolutely.
Product knowledge is you mix an ounce of this with 2 ounces of this, you process it 45 minutes at room temperature, level 8 and darker covers gray. That's product knowledge. Mm-hmm. Education is when we use permanent dye, anything that lifts the hair has to be alkaline. What does alkaline mean? What does acidic mean? What does it mean when we've invaded the hair with alkaline? You know, a lot of stuff.
It's the theory. It is the theory that, unfortunately, and I've been in the situation where I've taught in the schools also, and I'm trying to create a movement myself to amp up just the beauty school strategy for who's teaching in the beauty schools, who's watching the teachers, who's giving them, and this is an argument for another day, which I don't want to get into now, but this is something that I'm passionate about. Because when I go in to teach a class and I see that these kids are just left by the wayside, I'm like, but that teacher hasn't been updated. She doesn't care anymore. And I'm not bashing anyone, but this is why people are coming out of beauty school they're not work ready to even start training. And there's this big gap. And again, like I said, that's a discussion for another day. We can talk about the whole education system, but it's really true. And I agree with you. So if there's one thing that you think all salon professionals today need to do, moving in for the next 6 to 12 months, what is your advice to them? The one thing more than anything that they should be doing?
I said, develop a strong chair side manner. And I don't care if she's been seeing you 10 years, 10 weeks, or 10 minutes. That whole preamble, that whole intro of really showing interest, and then stop that urge to, in quotes, just get started. I don't want to see anybody taking every 15 or 25 minute. I think a minimum appointment should be 45 minutes. My appointments are each 90 minutes, but I don't do singles.
Yeah, me too. Mine are one-on-one.
Yeah, me too. And you know what? My ladies enjoy the time. They pay for it. They do give me gratuities, but also my stress level, my cortisol, my inability to speak with them is all taken away. Yeah. And also learn, and don't think that these stupid terms like foliage, melting, bowing, those are okay, but let's learn a new language. Let's talk about angel lights. Let's talk about smudging. Let's talk about dimensions, shade on shade, shine on shine. Let's refine our language. And I would say, I would hope people join your group and mine. And I hope that people will really do this with passion, because once you do, that's when you can be creative and have a wonderful time. Dream in color, stay safe, stay spectacular, and always dream in color.
And as a closing statement, I will say that the key here to everyone listening is these are tips for longevity and sustainability to have an amazingly successful career in the salon professional industry. If that's what you want, these are the tips and tools to follow. Beth, I want to thank you so much for your time and for being here with me. Everyone, all the contact information, Beth's amazing color professional group is going to be in the description. If you want to connect with Beth, all of her contact information is in the description. And I want to just thank you so much again for spending time with me. You are amazing.
I love it. Everybody reach out. Thank you. What's such an honor to connect with all of you. And Maria, God bless you. Thank you so much.
Love you.